Welcome back, everyone. I'm with Vivian Kaye, and this has nothing to do with the segment.
Nothing.
Look at our outfits! Yes! Okay, guys, the holidays are full of gifts and sweet treats and feelings. From overspending to impress your friends, to anxiety over your mother-in-law's presence at the dinner table, to struggling with sadness during the season. The list goes on and on and on. So Vivian Kaye is here to help us not get wrapped up in our feelings. I'm happy we're talking about this because it's always like happy, 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 joy, joy, joy. But let's talk about the real, which is that, you know, there's some sadness this time of year. And Viv, this is something we do not discuss enough at this time of year. So what do we need to take into account?
So let's be honest. It's the most wonderful time of the year to go into debt.
Yes.
For, you know, Christmas parties, for gifts, for food, for the decor. So, you know, a lot of people are overspending to overcompensate for that, right? So before you start doing that spending, before you tap that card, I want you to ask yourself 4 questions.
Okay.
First, how are you feeling in this moment? Like, how are you feeling, right?
Yeah.
Take a moment to just take stock of that. Secondly, why are you buying it?
Yeah.
Why are you buying it? Do you need to buy it? Fourthly, yes, how are you going to pay for it?
Right.
How are you going to pay for it? Because if you give yourself that little bit of breathing space when you're thinking while you're shopping, you can get yourself back on the right track.
You can, and I can't tell you how many times I've been in that situation where you're just buying to buy.
Yes.
And you're not stopping to think.
Yes.
Because if you stopped even for a second to think about it, you would back it up and put the credit card back in your wallet.
You would.
Right? So this is really good to stop and be a little bit more mindful. So how can we sort of minimize the stress that accompanies the holidays, do you think?
You know, I think first you need to acknowledge how you feel.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you've lost a loved one this year or you're not close to your friends, you know, it's okay to be sad. And I don't want you to beat yourself up for feeling sad. It's okay to not be okay. Okay? You don't have to force happiness during this time of the year.
I'll tell you this from our perspective. I'm the one that does all of the decorations and the gift buying, which so many of our viewers will be like, yeah, me too, honey.
Yep.
But part of that is because my husband grew up with such traumatic Christmases.
Oh.
So it's even like 20 years into the relationship, he's still trying to sort of envision what the holidays should mean because they've always been a time of such intense sadness.
Right.
So we give him that space to sort of figure that out, but he has to sit in his feelings. That's a part of it. So really acknowledge what you're feeling at this time of year. What would you say to people who they just aim to they want to please? They want to please people. They're people pleasers this time of year.
You know what you're going to do? You're going to underdo it.
Underdo it.
You're going to underdo it.
Okay.
No more keeping up with the Joneses with their 12-foot glitter Christmas tree and their high hydro bills and their unnecessary cookie distribution thing they got going on there.
The cookie swap?
The cookie swapping. You don't need to do that, okay? So you want to underdo it. You want to create space to make it manageable for yourself, right? So instead of knitting sweaters and scarves, give them a gift card.
Right.
Instead of RSVPing to that fancy, schmancy New Year's Eve party you don't even want to go to, say no. No.
No.
No.
A whole sentence.
A whole sentence.
Lower those expectations. It's my favorite thing to say.
Yes.
What do you do if you're feeling lonely this time of year?
Reach out to someone. Reach out to religious organizations, communities. You know, they're probably having social events. Text your friends. You know, do a FaceTime. Or even better, volunteer. That's always a sure way to lift your spirits.
Yes. The other thing you can do is put on a sparkly suit. Yes, sometimes that happens. That helps as well.
It does help tremendously.
Now, you also say you need to be realistic.
Yes.
So what do you mean by that? Or do you mean by like understand your limits and manage your expectations?
Yeah, like you need to keep it real with yourself. If you don't have the capacity to holiday, then don't.
Right.
You know, if you need to scale back, like, you know, your family changes, rituals change, traditions change. So don't be afraid to change with it, and also be open to new opportunities or to make new traditions.
New traditions. You can create your new traditions.
Absolutely.
If you don't like going to that aunt's house every holiday season,
don't.
There's absolutely no one that says you have to do that. You can decide.
Don't.
Viv, thank you so much for that. That's good advice. And thank you for your sparkle. Great tips.